Hello, it's Jang here with a look at a Mega Bloks Halo set. This is Smuggler Intercept, comes with 590 pieces. Now I ordered this online before any pictures of it were released, sight unseen. I didn't even know if Smuggler Intercept was a code name like with the Halo 5 sets where they gave them code names to avoid spoiling anything in advance. So imagine my surprise when this showed up. A Bactrian class freighter taken straight out of Halo Nightfall, the live action miniseries that introduces Jameson Locke, at that time just a member of Oni and not yet a Spartan. And you know what? This ship here, it's rather pedestrian. You know, it's not a fancy romantic fighter, air superiority thing. It's not all that much to think about from a military perspective, but it was pretty core and key a couple of times to the Nightfall series, and I think they just did a really good job of reproducing it. I think the look of this thing in Mega Bloks form is excellent. And I don't just say that because this happens to use my favorite color of piece from Mega Bloks, this interesting, slightly kind of champagne gold with rust marbled into it. But I think the shaping of it is good. The color selection is good as well. The level of texture and detail I think is very good. Kind of the balance between studded areas and molded textured areas and just plain, untextured areas that are just flat and all. And the construction of it was also pretty good. Everything seemed to pretty much make sense to me as I assembled it. Now this has articulating clamps, cargo clamps on the sides, which you can bring up like this, or you can bring them all the way up like this. However you want to do that, that's entirely up to you. You might want to just leave them something like that. But this is a cargo crate right here. It's actually attached right now with just a handful of studs, I think 4 studs in total, that actually hold on to it, so you don't need to have the clamps down, but you can easily remove this. And I actually even like this box. I think it's a really well done box. The fact that it's got a little bit of angling, chamfering around the edges, and the side doors, they're not vertical. They actually pinch in. They're leaning in just a little bit towards the top, which I think is really good. I think it just helps the thing to not look so blocky, even though it's made out of blocks and such. And the level of texture there, I don't know. It's just a box, but I like it. Inside, you can put stuff. And they have some stuff in there, some sandbags, which I'm assuming are supposed to represent some sort of commodity, grain or some building material or something. Another box inside of there. There's nothing inside of that box. A little jerry can here and a fusion coil. Just some sample stuff. Obviously you can put anything in there that you want. When you take that off, it leaves this thing looking a lot more sparse, less dense, but it still looks proper. It's got that kind of sky crane kind of look to it, and it's just appropriate. Nice solid backbone here that's actually mostly made of a couple of long, large pieces, and the sandwich plates, they do that pretty well. So again, the construction works out well, and yeah, I'm just happy with what's done here. There's only one thing that I feel like could have been done better, but I don't know how it could have been done better. And that's the canopy or cockpit section, because it only holds one single figure. And it's pretty important for some part of Halo Nightfall to be able to put 2 figures in there. Actually, it's pretty important for most of the story to be able to put 2 people side by side in there, but they just wouldn't physically fit within this scale. So they would have had to make the entire thing a much larger craft to be able to pull that off. And I think this is an acceptable compromise. Set also includes a generous little terrain piece and some extra cargo. Lots of extra cargo. Those are just, again, empty crates and boxes and such, but it's more of the same stuff that you see inside of the crate that's already attached to the boat, if you will. And I like this little floodlight set up on the top. You know, it's just a good thing to add a little extra scenery to a scene, and also for play value, just provide some extra cargo to swap out. The figures are Agents Locke and Estrin. Yes, they are both named characters, but only one of them gets a very, 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 very shiny head. Look at the shine on that. I have never seen a head with so much gloss. It's awkward that it came out that way. It'd be nice if it wasn't quite so shiny. It uses the Assassin's Creed style mostly, but without the hole in the top of the head. So there's no hole in the top of the head, and that's a good thing. But it does have the holes in the front of the head for the eyes, which I don't know, I thought worked with the Assassin's Creed line, but to me it looks a little bit more awkward in the context of a Halo figure, because our Halo figures have had painted eyes before. You know, it's just having the reference, I think, kind of changes the feel of things. I believe they used one of the laser scan heads from the Assassin's Creed project in order to get that head or that face for Locke, you know, which is just a generic one. I don't think it looks like the actual actor who plays Locke that much, but I do appreciate having an actual human head as well as an ODST helmet, you know, so you can actually swap those out. Speaking of which, yeah, that didn't quite go as planned, did it? Well, ignore the decapitated head and just see the helmet, and hopefully you won't have nightmares after watching this review. Okay then. So I really don't need to say any more kind of in conclusion about this set. I've already given you my thoughts about it, and obviously I like the thing. I like the fact that they covered this particular source material in a set, and I like the execution of it as a set. Let me know what you think about the set by leaving your thoughts in a comment down below. Thank you for watching. I hope I showed you everything you wanted to see here. I'll be talking to you again very soon.